Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Barack Obama, their successes individually should not lull us to sleep to think that now it's all over. Everything is solved, that there's some serious structural problems that keep people locked into poverty, that keep people still today, 2 days after the election, 47 million Americans have no health care. There's many issues that have to be addressed, and I think the next steps are to continue working to make sure that every vestige of the dehumanization of other persons, every vestige of sin that does not treat all of God's persons created in God's image as equal should be deconstructed with putting in its place the structure of Jesus Christ's model. So I think that would be the next step. That would be my response.
Mm-hmm. From my perspective, and I think that we need to understand well the nature of structural or social evil. And social evil or institutional evil happens because individuals over a period of time allow it to come to pass. They're grabbing for their own ego turf, their own advantage, and they're willing to step on other people in the process. And that happens across the board in government, education, media, business, science, and the arts. It happens in the family. It happens in the church. And therefore, what I was saying earlier about starting with a covenant of marriage is overwhelmingly what we have to deal with. But we need to then move on outward into the culture itself. So, for example, in our next forum, I have some very concrete ideas I want to talk about, think out aloud, about what's going to make a difference in the inner city, for example. Walk through Detroit, walk through Philadelphia, walk through Watts, walk through so many inner cities in this country, and you just see devastation. And those of us who are white, those of us who have not been in those neighborhoods and listened to the pain, we need to do so because we have a far greater freedom, a far greater resource than most of Black America. And I think Dr. Wright is correct in terms of individual success should not lull us to sleep in terms of the balance of society. The bottom line is this: Jesus said, "As you do it to the least of these my brothers," which is all of humanity, you've done it unto him. And so the real question is, and for example, I have a real gripe with LBJ and the Great Society. $6 trillion later, money going up to the government, mostly paid to people with middle class or upper middle class incomes and educations, to move the money around. And has it helped? Has it made the difference? That's a perspective I have. I think there are structural evils in the way, and so how do we serve structural programs in the United States that's rooted in the family and it starts with the church? And unless the church lives it, then I don't think society can make a difference. And that's why, for me, the 6 pillars of biblical power are what we believe. Can we bring this in the political culture in a way where politics is not the God, but rather we serve God within the political structures?
Okay, thank you. We've got time for one more question. Just kidding. Next question.